$14 billion. Gone. In a single day. That is $250 billion in today's money. Imagine every dollar in your bank account, your retirement fund, your children's college savings, all of it, vanishing between breakfast and dinner. October 29, 1929. Black Tuesday. The day the American dream died. There was a man named Irving Fisher, the most respected economist in America. A rock star at Yale. He had invented the index number system. He had made groundbreaking contributions to economic theory. 3 days before the crash, he said, stocks have reached a permanently high plateau. He was wrong. On Black Tuesday, Fisher lost millions of dollars. Much of it was borrowed money. Yale University had to buy his house and rent it back to him just to keep him from being homeless. The man who declared stocks were safe died a relatively poor man in 1947. If the smartest guy in the room could lose everything, what chance did ordinary people have? To understand how this happened, you need to understand the 1920s. America was on fire. World War I was over. The economy was booming. Imagine a country where everyone is getting rich. Your neighbor just bought a new car. Your barber just quit his job to trade stocks full-time. Your 12-year-old son is giving you stock tips. That was America in 1929. In 1920, there were 8 million cars on American roads. By 1929, there were 23 million. Henry Ford's assembly line had revolutionized manufacturing. The Model T was rolling off the line at a rate of 1 every 10 seconds. Radios went from a curiosity to a household staple. The first commercial radio station launched in 1920. By 1929, over 40% of American homes had a radio. For the first time in history, millions of people could hear the same news, the same music, the same advertisements at the same time. Household electricity spread from cities to rural areas. Refrigerators, washing machines, and vacuum cleaners created a consumer revolution. People were buying things their parents could never have imagined. Corporate profits were soaring. Between 1922 and 1929, corporate earnings grew by an average of 9% per year. Industrial production increased by 50%. The stock market reflected this optimism. The Dow Jones Industrial Average rose from 63 in August 1921 to 381 in September 1929. That is a six-fold increase in just 8 years. But beneath the surface, problems were forming. The prosperity was not evenly shared. By 1929, the top 1% of Americans controlled nearly 20% of the country's wealth. Farmers were struggling. Agricultural prices had been falling since the end of World War I. But here is the dangerous part. Ordinary Americans discovered they could buy stocks with borrowed money. You put down $10. Your broker lent you $90. If the stock went up 10%, you doubled your money. By the summer of 1929, over $8.5 billion was out on loan to margin buyers. That was more than the entire amount of currency circulating in the United States. Roughly 90% of all stock market purchases were being made with borrowed money. The stock market had become a national obsession. Cab drivers discussed stock tips with their passengers. Hotel shoeshine boys gave investment advice. Stories spread of ordinary people becoming millionaires overnight. Investment trusts were piling leverage on top of leverage. The Goldman Sachs Trading Corporation stock went from $104 to $222 in months. By the time the crash was over, it was worth less than $2. Now let me tell you about the ticker tape boys. Stock prices were transmitted through ticker machines that printed symbols and prices on paper tape. Young boys ran through Manhattan carrying paper slips from brokerage to brokerage. On Black Tuesday, the volume was so massive that the ticker machines ran 3 hours behind. Even they could not keep up. The hotel clerk in New